Welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host with Vision 33. Today, our topic is going to be how to master the art of data transfer with EDI. Our friends from SBS Commerce are going to join us in just a few minutes. First, some announcements, as always. Remember that there is a new SAP Business One user guide out, published about a year ago. It's updated for version 10, of course, with all the new HANA-specific details and all the new functions that arrived since version 9.2 when the last book was published. It's available from Amazon and, of course, SAP Press. There are a few more options at SAP Press, so you might want to check that out too, but Amazon is definitely convenient. Always check out the Customer Resources Center if you're looking for help for SAP Business One. We've got lots of video content there. All of these Wednesday web chats are posted there for you to reference somewhere on that site. And there's also many other helpful documents that you might want to make use of. And some of that is Crystal Reports training. It's a series of video lessons, about 8 of them, that you can take at your own pace and learn how to make and modify your own Crystal Reports. Just some news for you. Our recommended version of SAP Business One is still version 10.0, Feature Pack 2202, Hotfix number 1. For a short period of time, we were recommending Feature Pack 2208, but we recalled it because we discovered some issues. So we're sticking with Feature Pack 2202 for a while. If you do plan to upgrade to version 10, which we recommend, please check with our Total Care folks. They'll help guide you and make sure that there aren't any roadblocks in your way. Every other week, we publish an edition of the Connected Enterprise podcast. You can join me as I interview people from all over the business world, all about topics that are important to today, new developments in the world of technology that will impact every business in the future if they aren't already. So you can find it just about every place, and it is also published on iTunes so that you can see it in audio and visual format if you like. So here's our special guest today. I'm going to turn this meeting over to these folks. Ben's going to be our primary presenter today, but wanted to say thank you to Ellen and Jake for their assistance with getting all of this material ready. And so, Ben, I'm going to stop sharing and let you start sharing. And welcome to Wednesday Web Chat.
Perfect. Thank you, Carl, for the introduction. As he said, my name is Ben Bratland. I lead the channel sales and partnership team here at SPS. Jake Hansen and Ellen Tonkin are also on the call. Jake is our point person for all things partnership with Vision 33 and SAP B1, also supported by one of our sales leaders, Ellen. So today, as we mentioned, just going to a little bit of overview of who SPS Commerce is, the business challenges we help our customers solve, and then specifically how we together, SAP and Vision, or SPS and Vision 33, solve them for our SAP B1 customers. I'll also add for this that we support a variety of ERPs that Vision represents, including SAP S4 and Sage Intacct. So certainly willing to take questions on those at a future time. To get started, a little bit about SPS Commerce. We are a publicly traded company. We're headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have about 2,500 employees. About 2/3 of those employees are in the Minneapolis office where I am at today. And really what we do, everything we do is about increasing collaboration between business partners. More often than not, it's a supplier or a distributor who needs automation with their retailers or their big customers, or perhaps the third-party logistics centers they work with. But everything we're doing is helping exchange critical business data and documents for our customers with their business partners. We're really serving across industries, whether it's retail, grocery, distribution, manufacturing, wholesale, really anybody who's moving a finished good. And then we are a global company with offices dispersed around the world. We really have 3 core customer constituents at SPS Commerce. I'll start on the left of how we really built our business, of what we classify as buying organizations or retailers. Think Walmart, Walgreens, Costco, Home Depot, the big companies or the big stores that you walk into and you buy products, or you go to their website and you buy products online. SPS Commerce is helping them not only design what their EDI requirements and supply chain look like, but also then onboard their community of suppliers and carriers and shippers and everybody who works with them to this one standard. On the right side, that right icon, SPS Commerce has a large logistics business where we serve third-party logistics centers, public warehouses, carriers, freight brokers, the people who are storing goods and moving goods for our clients. And then our largest customer segment and the most crossover we have with Vision 33 is that middle icon, or what we call suppliers. You can think of these as wholesale distributors or manufacturers who are selling products to grocers, to retails, to hardware stores, selling their products online. And they come to us really looking to automate their EDI process or their order to cash process within their ERP. So those really are our core customer segments. I want to briefly touch on and specifically going to highlight that supplier segment that I reference. Why is their world complex? Why do they need help from SPS Commerce? What are the business challenges they're trying to solve? So if you think of our customers are in the middle there. They have their own ERP system. They have SAP B1 they're running. They may have a 3PL or a WMS tied into that. They may have some way they're managing their item data. And then all of their retail customers, whether that's big box stores, and then their kind of consumer customer areas, that could be a Shopify site or Etsy or Amazon Marketplace. All of these different order channels have different ways they're sending orders, different ways they need item data, different requirements and different technologies they have. Our supplier customers often come to us and they're managing a lot of different elements and different technologies that their customers use. And when they're doing this, when they're sitting between them or when they're working with their customers on a regular basis, there's constant exchange of information. If you think if you're a supplier and you're selling into retailers, if I don't share my item data, my retailers don't know what to buy from me. My retailers are going to send me orders in a consistent way. I need to print labels and send them shipping data in the same way every time. I need to share inventory updates and quantity with them, often on a daily basis. I need to invoice them in a specific way. And then once I've done all that, I probably want to know how my products are actually selling once they got to their store. And this information exchange isn't done one time. It's done continuously every hour, every day, between retailers, shopping carts, e-commerce sites, and then our joint customers who we're trying to solve this business challenge. What makes this difficult is that there is no standard. A Walmart order doesn't look like a Target order. It doesn't look like an Amazon order. The way they require packing, labeling, carrier and shipping, the way they want to do van, the way they want to do testing, their drop ship requirements, all of these things are different across all the different retail channels and order channels that our customers are working in. On top of that, they're changing all the time. It's not like you get it set once, then you have it set forever. SPS Commerce makes about 9,000 mapping changes in our network every year. This is really the business problem of why not only is my business unique, but my retailers are all unique and I need constant updates to them. This is why customers, rather than trying to do this themselves, they come to SPS Commerce and look for help. So specifically, SPS and Vision 33 have had a long, successful partnership together. We have hundreds of mutual customers, over a decade of joint partnership, where SPS Commerce is the network to our customers, and Vision 33 has built IP that we work together to sell joint solutions with to the SAP B1 community. As I said, hundreds of customers and thousands of documents we're processing every hour. Specifically, SPS Commerce, we really view that we have two great assets. One is our employees, and we'll touch on that a little bit. And the second is our network. SPS Commerce's mission is to be the world's retail network. And we currently have over 1 million unique connections in our network across over 3,500 different big box retail chains, thousands of 3PLs, all the security certifications you would expect of a public company. And we truly are omni-channel. Every channel, every fulfillment model, SPS Commerce is able to connect to. I think a lot of times when you hear the buzzword omni-channel, people are talking about, can you do Shopify and Amazon? And we can certainly do all of that stuff. But the hard part is actually, how do I get all these big box retailers and grocers and hardware stores and large distributors How do we work with them in the same way you might work with a Shopify? And that's what SPS Commerce has been doing for 20 plus years, is automating that for our clients. So we feel we're very well suited to execute in an increasingly omni-channel world. And as far as how we built this network, it all starts with getting it right for the retailer. If we don't have it right for Amazon, we don't have a business. We've got almost 10,000 companies who use us to get their purchase orders from Amazon or bring their sales orders from Amazon into their ERP. If we don't have it right for Amazon, we've got 10,000 customers who have a really big problem. And so SPS has really started across the over 3,500 different retailers that we work with. How do we make sure we have their requirements right, reusable, and scalable? So no matter how many vendors we add to our network, we have their data rules right, their business rules, and their contact rules right to always be able to have them be compliant. And then once we do this, once we're able to get it right for all the retailers in a reusable multi-tenant fashion, we're able to bring all that data into one connection to SPS Commerce and provide it to our joint customers in one intelligent connection. So our customers, rather than having to worry about all their different retailer requirements, are really just focused on one connection to SPS Commerce. So one of the things, more broadly speaking, about EDI is, regardless of how you're going to tackle EDI, there's really 7 critical components. Starting at the top, technology. Every single EDI provider, SPS Commerce or otherwise, has some sort of technology. We believe ours, with Vision 33, is the best in the industry, but everybody has technology. You also need trading partner expertise. What does Costco require versus Sam's Club versus Whole Foods? How do I design and configure a solution for my business? My business is unique. How do I make it work for me? Do my trading partners need VAN, AS2, FTP, API? How do I test and launch and bring them into production? When they make changes, how do I proactively monitor that and analyze how my data is performing? And ongoing resource access. When things go wrong, when I need customer support, what do I do? More often than not in the industry, our competitors are a managed service provider where they're providing a piece of technology. They're maybe helping install it and design it a little bit for the customers. And then you pick up the phone 2 minutes later, you talk to them for customer support. But they're not providing you the trading partner expertise. They're not helping you test and launch and bring this into production. And they're often not managing, do you need a VAN connection or an AS2 connection? This is left to customers to figure out how to do this themselves. This is where the SPS Commerce team comes in. SPS is the only full service EDI provider on the market where we're handling all these components of EDI for our customers. We're the ones who call the retailers to do testing. We're the ones who worry about connectivity and communication and design and analysis and keeping these things up to date. And we're able to do that because earlier I referenced our greatest asset at SPS Commerce is our people. We have 2,500 employees. Over 1,500 of those are in customer success, who are working with a customer to get it right for them, with the trading partners to get it right with retailer requirements, and then constantly providing training and education for our customers. Our customers don't need an EDI department because they're inheriting SPS Commerce as their EDI department. At its core, what our EDI department for our customers is trying to do is help our clients get an A with their retailers, whether it's eliminating chargebacks, shipping on time, shipping complete, having true automation so they're efficient, getting their item data right. How do we make sure you have visibility into how your products are actually performing at your stores? Everything we're doing is about how do we help our customers get an A with their retailers. So stepping back here a little bit, this is often what our customers look like, or our prospects look like when they approach us. They've tried to do this themselves. I've bought a GXS, I've bought an OpenText, I've bought a TrueCommerce managed service, and I've done mapping to retailers myself. And so on this left side, I've got 6 different retailers, each with 5 different document types. So I'm managing 30 unique EDI maps. And then I'm figuring out, okay, how do I create sales orders in SAP B1? And when I ship products, how do I decrement inventory? And how do I, when I post my invoices at the end of the day, how do those automatically go to AR and get sent to the retailer? This is left to the customer to figure out, and a mapping and EDI tool doesn't necessarily solve your business problem. So the SPS Commerce model is on that left side of the screen. That's our fulfillment network. That's the world's retail network where we have pre-built multi-tenant connections to every retailer in the world. Our customers don't need to do mapping, translation, connectivity. All they're worried about is one standard connection between SPS Commerce and SAP B1. And oh, by the way, that integration is built by Vision 33, maintained by Vision 33, integrated together, Vision 33 and SPS, to hundreds of clients. So frankly, our customers get to step in, having their retail compliance problem solved, and then having a really reusable, repeatable integration in the Vision 33 solution. So we've talked a lot about order data here. Going to briefly touch on a couple quick items to highlight some of the other value propositions that SPS is helping our clients with. So specifically item data. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't have good item data to your retailers, they actually literally can't buy from you. If they don't know what you're selling, they can't buy from you. Every one of our customers who's selling to retailers is providing item data in some way. The challenge is every retailer wants their item data in a different way. They want different categories, different feature sets. They want them delivered in a different way, at a different time frame, at different cadences. This is incredibly complex. Just like EDI is complex for our suppliers, them providing item data to retailers is equally complex. And this is also a thing where it's not a one and done. As you're adding products or changing items, this is constantly a business need. And customers who don't have a good way to do this end up throwing bodies at the problem, and they spend their time doing spreadsheet Olympics trying to figure this out. Very similar to EDI, the SPS Commerce model is we work with our suppliers, and they can send us a spreadsheet. They can populate data into the SPS Commerce UI. We can extract data from SAP B1, where we bring all our customers' item information into the SPS Commerce network, and then we will provide it to all these retailers, marketplaces, e-commerce platforms in the way that they're looking to receive item data, whether it's API or FTP or XML or X12 spreadsheets or Excel spreadsheets, we don't care. Also want to touch on sales data. A lot of our customers, hey, I know what I shipped to Target's distribution center. I know what I shipped to Home Depot, but once it gets there, I actually have no idea if it's selling, it's sitting on the shelf getting dusty, it's in the back room. Maybe I sold all my red baseball hats and none of my blue baseball hats. SPS Commerce, in a very similar way, works to gather daily sales reports from almost every single retailer in North America and most of Europe, to understand what actually was scanned at the register, what actually sold through the retail stores or through these e-commerce platforms. We're then standardizing that to provide it to our customers in a very simple, easy to use way. And often that's in data reports to bring into some other BI platform. But more often than not, it's our own dashboards. So you could see, hey, how are my products performing at actual individual stores and by geography? Or maybe I'm in category planning and I want to see how my different product segments and each individual product I have, how are the sales last week over the week prior or last week over last year? Or maybe I own the business and I every Monday want to get a report of my last week's sales, my weeks of supply, my margin, my inventory. I want to see it month over month, year over year. And I'm going to use this to make really high quality decisions effectively with the goal of how do I have the right inventory at the right place and get more out of my inventory for, frankly, spending less money on it. And then, as we've mostly talked about today, I'm going to close with, more often than not, the SPS Commerce and Vision 33 relationship is helping customers automate their order data. So their order to cash process, I'm getting orders from retailers, I'm picking, I'm packing, I'm shipping, I'm labeling, I'm invoicing, and I want that all to happen in an efficient process. This is where you really want to highlight the solutions we're providing to our joint customers here. Initially, on the left side, every SPS Commerce EDI customer gets our fulfillment solution. This fulfillment product is low cost, very quick to implement, usually in 1 to 2 weeks. We have customers in production, very easy to use. Every customer of ours, as I mentioned, is a fulfillment customer. As they grow, this solution is really strong for new to EDI or people who have to get EDI up and running quickly. But as they grow, that's where they graduate to an integrated solution that we partner with Vision 33 on to automate that inside of SAP B1. They still have fulfillment in the background as a reporting tool or as a backup service. But once we move to that SAP B1 automated service, that's where truly our customers are getting efficiency, where we're creating sales orders automatically in their system for them. We're advising them on how to pick and pack, giving them the ability to print labels directly from inside of B1, invoicing from directly inside of B1, so that the process they would have to fulfill an order inside of SAP is the process they need to do to be EDI compliant with their retailer. So very successful, very efficient product offering we have here together to the market. And this is what that ultimately looks like is that, Vision 33, imagine that's the SAP B1 customer. We're helping them with whoever their customers are that they're selling to, automate their workflow with them. And maybe they have suppliers. Maybe they were looking to procure products from their vendor community. We can facilitate that. Or maybe they're looking for third-party connectivity with their logistics companies, whether that's 3PLs or carriers, people who are shipping goods or warehousing their goods. Using Vision 33 and SAP B1 to connect to the SPS Commerce Network enables automated transactions across all these different constituents. From an implementation perspective, we're not providing the customer the software and then they're off and running. They're going to get an SPS Commerce team, a project manager and consulting team to implement with, along with resources from the Vision 33 EDI team to jointly implement this project. We start with a discovery process. Even though we likely found out a lot of things in the sales cycle, we want to ensure our delivery team understands their business needs, what they're trying to accomplish, ultimately prescribe the right solution for the right customers that are going to make them as efficient and successful as possible. We configure that solution, validate that, and then push them into production. SPS Commerce is managing all the testing upfront and ongoing. Worth calling out for our customers, SPS really needs companies to be customers for several years for us to be profitable. If we lose a customer after 1 year because we don't do a good job in these 5 steps, SPS is losing money on that engagement. It is most certainly in our best interest and frankly a necessity for us to do a solid job of delivering solutions and providing ongoing value, or else we're not a business anymore. As I mentioned earlier, SPS and Vision have been partners for over 10 years, a lot of successful deals and customers together. And I really see there's several benefits, but 3 really clear benefits of the SPS Commerce partnership to Vision GMs and reps and sellers and team members. Firstly, grow your revenues. SPS Commerce sends ERP leads to Vision 33, where new customers need a new ERP solution. We're providing you with new opportunities. Additionally, we're sharing revenues when you register leads with SPS Commerce. When you pick up the phone and call Jake Hansen and have a new EDI opportunity, we're revenue sharing with you on those opportunities should we win them. And then from a market leadership perspective, there's no doubt Vision 33 is the leader in the SAP B1 market. And there's no question SPS Commerce is the leader in the EDI and supply chain automation market. So together, our story is really strong to prospects, and there is a lot of trust there that we're able to execute. And then lastly, with us being a full service EDI solution, one, we're not looking for Vision to dedicate resources, your ERP resources. We're not looking for you to help us implement our solution. We're handling that on behalf of the customers. And then on that other note, because we're handling it on behalf of the customers, we're not asking for extensive time from our customers to implement our solution. We are often doing projects where we're implementing SAP B1 and SPS Commerce EDI at the same time. And that implementation of that B1 project is a heavy lift for our customers. And so we want to make sure we're not pulling customer resources away from the B1 project to focus on EDI. SPS is really doing the significant heavy lifting there. And these, among others, have made us a really strong fit in the market together and allowed us to have a lot of successful wins over the last decade. With that, want to thank everyone for their time. Want to thank you for the long, successful partnership we've had together, and would welcome any questions that come up.
Hey, thanks so much. That was great. I haven't seen an SPS Commerce presentation in a while. That was very, very nicely done. Thank you. I'm not seeing any questions today, however, but I've kind of got one of my own for you. As you said, SPS Commerce has been around a long time. EDI is not a new technology. But there's a lot of changes happening in the world of technology today. How are some of these things impacting, the world at SPS Commerce?
I'm going to jump to a slide to help answer the question. As I mentioned on this prior slide, we're the world's retail network. Everything we do is making sure we're up to date with retailer requirements. So Wayfair is a good example. Wayfair wants their connections to be all API connectivity. Totally fine with us. Our business is not to be an EDI provider. Our business is to solve complex retail supply chain issues, which means we need to meet the retailers where they're at. So frankly, the term EDI, most of it isn't EDI anymore. It's XML documents and API connectivity and JSON formats. And so regardless of what technologies these retailers adopt as the way they want to do business, it is critical for SPS Commerce to continue investing in that to be sure we're always up to date with the requirements. So EDI is often a generic term that doesn't actually mean what it used to mean.
That is very true. As the digitization process continues, more and more of the old formats will probably get laid by the wayside and replaced with some of the new digital formats that retailers are transitioning to these days.
Which frankly we prefer. The new technology has significant benefits, and so there's a lot more we can do with kind of the new infrastructure that retailers are adopting. And SPS is frankly on the forefront of helping retailers adopt these changes, as thousands of retailers have hired us to be their quote unquote EDI department, where we're helping design and lay out their new requirements.
And yet, for customers that are still, in an on-premises format and not in the cloud, SPS can still work with those customers just as effectively, right?
Correct. All our technology is cloud-based, but where their ERP is often dictates what our integration strategy is. So there's SAP B1 customers who have an on-premise environment, and we're able to install our joint solution on that environment, or there's ones that are hosted and we can work with that as well. So we have a lot of flexibility in how we deploy our solution.
Something for everyone, always a good thing. Well, thanks so much for joining us today and for getting this presentation together. If you do have additional questions about EDI and SPS Commerce with Vision 33, we really would welcome your questions. Reach out to all of your customer relationship managers or anyone at Vision 33, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. And Ben and his teammates are always out there to help us. So Jake, Ellen, Ben, thank you so much for being a part of our presentation today on Wednesday Web Chat. And we hope to see you all again someday on the next episode of Wednesday Web Chat.